This is part 3 of Fauna Frey. Where is Fauna Frey? I've got some updated information, more information from her timeline that it kind of dead stopped last time at the Super 8 Inn, but I have a lot more information and more about her whereabouts on June 29th, the day she went missing. In fact, I've narrowed it down to a window of about 20 minutes when she went missing. This is my opinion and my theory based on the information that I was given. We've got a lot more information and more to dig in deep, but I truly believe that Fauna was probably abducted in Grants Pass, Oregon, and within the city limits most likely on June 29th between 3:39 p.m. and 4 p.m. And I'll tell you why. Let's get started. Welcome to Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. I'm Kathryn. Got a lot of theories, but I honestly believe that Fauna was abducted. That is my opinion right now. A couple of reasons why I think she's abducted. First of all, her car, a 2000 Jeep Cherokee Laredo, is one of the most stolen cars in the United States. There's also a cluster of them that have been stolen and found and stolen around Fish Hatchery Road in Grants Pass. Fauna went to Fish Hatchery Road when she dropped off the hitchhiker. So let me go over the timeline and we'll talk a little bit about what went on, and I will give you my theory and opinion about what I think. And yes, there will be a part 4, but for now, let's just go over the newest timeline and what we have on. Now, this is a little bit more updated and a little more thorough than the timeline we had before, based on the fact that I've now spoken to family and friends. Fauna Frey, case number 20001267 with the Joesphine County Sheriff's Department. On June 27, 2020, she drove her Jeep from Dexter, Oregon to Grants Pass. She spends the night in her car that night at an unknown location, and she does not bring any clothes. From what I'm gathering, she was just going to make a trip down and come back the next day. She decided to stay a little longer for whatever reason. That's why she didn't have clothes. She was also not driving her own car. From what I'm understanding, she was driving her deceased brother's car. She had her car left at home. That's the gist of it that I'm getting. And if somebody knows and I'm wrong, please correct me. On June 28th, 2020, at 10:08 a.m., she stops at Cresswell 76 station and she spends $20. At 11:40 a.m., she picks up chicken strips for Sean's dog. We believe she stopped at the Wolf Creek store and bought them there. Sean is her brother's friend who she was coming south from Dexter to Wolf Creek to bring him some of her brother's belongings that her brother wanted him to have, or Fauna felt like he should have since he was a good friend of her brother's. At 11:45 a.m., she stops at Sean's house in Wolf Creek. She spends 30 minutes with Sean. And Sean provided Fauna an address to 830 Onion Mountain Road. I don't have a lot of information on that. I will get back to that subject at some point and figure that one out. But regardless, she was seen many times after this. From 12:15 to 7:04 p.m., we don't know where Fauna was. There's no activity that they were able to find between 12:15 and 7:04 p.m. Somewhere in there, she picks up this hitchhiker. This female hitchhiker who is known locally to law enforcement was picked up. From what I'm being told, she was dropped off at Fish Hatchery Road. Now, at 7:04 p.m., she goes to Cave Junction. At the Chevron and Cave Junction, she spends $25. At 7:45 p.m., she checks into the Super 8 motel. At 8 o'clock p.m., she calls her dad, John, at home. Then at 8:30, she goes to Fred Meyer in Grants Pass, and she spends $138.28. There's when she buys socks, VO5 shampoo, Pantene conditioner, 2 Burt's Bees, a deli sandwich, a bag of potato chips, some activewear clothing, and 2 cans of Foster beer. The Fred Meyer video captures her walking to her car wearing a neon green and purple pullover. It's confirmed that she did arrive back at a room at the Super 8 after her shopping trip, and she was alone. It's unclear when she went to Big 5. She would not have had time to go after Chevron and Cave Junction because she left at 7:04 and arrived at 7:45 and checked into the Super 8 motel, and Big 5 closes at 7:30 p.m. On June 29th, video shows Fauna leaving her room at the Super 8 in Grants Pass. Here's where we got more information, right? That's where we ended before. At 11:44 a.m., she withdraws $200 cash from Umpqua Bank in Rogue River. Rogue River is south of Grants Pass. So Fauna's been all over the area, truly, in 2 days. Now pay attention. This is where I'm narrowing it down. At 3:35 p.m., she makes a reservation at the We Ask You Inn. She calls them and makes a reservation. She talks to a woman there. The woman remembers her at this point. This woman was surprised that Fauna doesn't show up because she sounded excited to go there and stay in the cabins. And that was at 3:35 p.m. At 3:39 p.m., she's at Gooseberry's Market. It's a upper end market, food market in Grants Pass. It's within the city limits of Grants Pass. She spends $56.61, and apparently Gooseberry's does not have cameras to be reviewed. However, we do know now that she did have a phone. Most likely she had her brother, the brother that passed away recently. Most likely she had his phone and was using his phone. There's been requests to have it pinged. Law enforcement says they had it pinged and there was nothing. Family's a little skeptical about that. I'm definitely skeptical about that. That makes no sense. And they're having a real difficult time being able to get any records because this is just truly a missing person. There's no proof of a crime, although the car has now been listed as a stolen car. It's so frustrating and so confusing. But at 3:39 p.m., she had to be at Gooseberry's because that's when she bought the food. At 3:35 p.m., she had to be at Gooseberry's because she bought food, so she was shopping. So most likely she made her call from Gooseberry's to the We Ask You Inn and made the reservation. It is an 11-minute straight shot drive from Gooseberry's to the We Ask You Inn. Now, I went to Gooseberry's, and I will show you the video to look to see about cameras. Right next door to Gooseberry's, there is a Humane Society thrift store. It is an 11-minute straight shot drive from Gooseberry's to the We Ask You Inn. Now, I went to Gooseberry's, and I will show you the video to look to see about cameras. Right next door to Gooseberry's, there is a Humane Society thrift store. It has a camera that points right to the Gooseberry's parking lot. Okay, so since we have some updated timeline on Fauna, I am at Gooseberry's. This was literally the last place that her card was used. And I'm going to flip. Oh, let me get out. But Gooseberry's is a real food market. It's like a health food, real food, organic food market. And it is in Grants Pass, Oregon. And they said their cameras were not working, or they were changing over cameras or something like that. But I can see right next door to Gooseberry's is a thrift store. And it has a camera. I can see the camera right here. So let me get out and we'll go. There's the thrift store entrance right here. They are closed, but there's a camera right there pointing here. So if Fauna pulled out of this parking lot, parked in here, we would have been able to see what direction she went from that camera most likely. I'd love to know what angle that camera's at. Trying to see if there's any other cameras. Gooseberry's cameras. And then across the street is, it's like a BMX type, and Grants Pass Downs. So there's got to be some cameras over there pointing this way to the fences and stuff so people don't go on them. And we'll walk up here. Gooseberries. Kind of limping. They said their cameras were not working. But this was the last place she used her card at 3:39 p.m. on the 29th. And she had made a reservation at the We Ask You Inn at 3:35 p.m. So she would have probably been in this parking lot when she made it, or in the store. Don't see. I don't know. Just maybe my sleuths can help. Look at all this. Across the street. I don't even see that Gooseberry's has cameras, but the thrift store next door, it's the Humane Society thrift store, has a camera. Maybe it was working that day. That would be really super duper 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 helpful. Very helpful. Solve this mystery. I mean, everything's closed with COVID right now, but I would imagine they're protecting their property, and imagine that they would have had their cameras working on June 29th, especially with their store if it was closed all this time. Don't see anything there. Now, along the way, there should be some cameras down the road, I would think. Let's go over to that corner and see. On the other side of Gooseberry's, this is the Grants Pass Downs. I am going to turn around. And this is where the horses and that would be. Gooseberry's parking lot, when you leave it, there's only in and out at two sides. One on the side of the store, but still the front parking lot, and one directly in front of the store. The one on the side, you can only turn right, but there's a light there. You could turn left or right. If you come out straight of the parking lot of Gooseberry's, you can go right or left. But then you are on Rogue River Avenue. You cannot go back. You'd have to turn around to go back to Rogue River Highway. So Fauna, at some point, leaves. I am saying she puts her groceries in her car and she gets ready to leave Gooseberry's at, I would give it a minute, right? 3:40 p.m. She has groceries. Check-in time at We Ask You In is 3 p.m. She has no reason to stall at this point. She has food to put in her cabin. The reservation was made for only one night. She would have headed straight there. There's no reason. She'd been running around all day, possibly hiking early in the day in those gaps of time. She would have been going directly to the We Ask You In. It is an 11-minute drive. This makes me believe that Fauna was abducted between 3:40 and the next 11 minutes. Tell me what you think. Put it in the comments below. Now, the inside of Gooseberry's has video cameras. I know somebody that is a former employee there that confirmed to me that inside the store, there are cameras that watch the lines and watch the store. I don't know about their parking lot, but they have cameras inside. They can see what's going on. This person that used to be a former employee there said that they specifically were asked to come review a camera with them at one point because there was somebody in her line that they had questions about. And this was recent. This was in 2019 when this person worked at Gooseberry's. So Gooseberry's has cameras. Don't know what the reluctance is to give the cameras, or if it's not been a good investigation where they've actually asked for these video footage. Also, the Humane Society thrift store next door has cameras. Joesphine County Sheriff's Department has very little manpower. This was reported to them as a missing person. The attitude has been kind of like, she's an adult, she doesn't want to be found. It is a huge county, goes clear from Grants Pass. It's a lot of footwork for 24 deputies that aren't even on all the time. So they also, the friend Sean in Wolf Creek,
who would have been the last person she really contacted with that's known, the police haven't even visited him. They've only called him.
This has been the information that I'm getting with my research, watching message boards, talking to people local, and the county does not have the manpower to even go in there and speak to this friend, Sean, who may or may not know more. I am going to contact Sean. I have the contact information, and I would like to talk to him. It sounds like he would probably be willing to talk to me. So we got we have a lot to do with this case. We're going to keep it alive, and we're going to find Fauna. That's my mission. Her car is missing, and she is missing. And that car could have very well been stolen in that area of Fish Hatchery Road. Remember at Big Five, she bought lantern, flashlights, that kind of stuff. And then she's pulled out $200 in Rogue River. And then she came back to Grants Pass to Gooseberry's. I think one of my theories, I have a lot of theories, but one of my theories is she possibly could have gotten that money for her hitchhiking friend. And she could have gotten the items from Big Five for her hitchhiking friend. So if she delivered the $200 plus the items to her hitchhiking friend back at Fish Hatchery Road, and one of my subscribers was able to really dig deep and look at how many of those cars have been stolen in the general area, there's quite a bit. So is there a chop shop somewhere? I don't know, but there's something going on in the area, and I get the sense that possibly she went back to the hitchhiker and someone there spotted her, followed her to Gooseberry's, and abducted her, either leaving the store, got in her car, or followed her along the way. It would have had to have happened in that 11-minute drive towards the We Ask You Inn. I hope this makes a little bit of sense and is more clear, but I wanted to get this timeline out there to you because I know there's a lot of people that are paying attention to this story, especially in the Grants Pass area. And I want you to know that she was literally last seen at 3:39 p.m. buying her groceries at Gooseberry's. Thank you for watching Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. I'm Kathryn. We will continue this. I will see you Saturday. My prayers are with John, Jenny, all of Fauna's friends that are working hard to solve this, and to the community as a whole. Thank you. Be safe. Be well. Take care. See you soon.